and her devoted friends who had all known Catalina as a beacon of ambition and resilience. Her disappearance sent shockwaves through the fabric of their close-knit community, igniting a desperate search for answers. As the sun dipped below the horizon on that fateful night in July 2024, the streets of Córdoba bore witness to the silent cries of a family plunged into a world of uncertainty. Catalina's aspirations to become a builder were not merely dreams, they were the embodiment of her unyielding spirit. In a country where the landscape is as varied as the culture itself, she sought to carve her own path, one brick at a time. Her journey was one of determination, but it was abruptly interrupted, leaving a void that echoed far beyond her immediate surroundings. The investigation into Catalina's disappearance unfolded against the backdrop of a nation grappling with its own internal struggles. Argentina, a land of breathtaking beauty, is paradoxically marred by the shadows of its socio-economic challenges. As the eighth largest country in the world, it possesses vast natural resources, yet the specter of deforestation and pollution looms large. The relentless march of agricultural expansion and industrial greed threatens to consume the very essence of its natural heritage. In the midst of this environmental and societal turl-average is a testament to the intricate web of corruption that ensnares its economic and political systems. The ninth highest murder rate worldwide casts a long shadow over the country's vibrant cities and trawl. Córdoba, with its rich history and economic significance, mirrors the duality of Argentina itself. The city stands as a bastion of wealth and opportunity, yet it is not immune to the pervasive crime that grips the nation. From the bustling markets to the quiet neighborhoods, the specter of criminality lurks, challenging the resolve of local authority. As the investigation into Catalina's disappearance gained momentum, whispers of a suspicious vehicle emerged, hinting at a darker undercurrent. Her parents, Eleonora and Marcello, pursued these leads with a mix of hope and trepidation. What they uncovered was a chilling revelation that painted a grim picture of the forces at play. Catalina Gutierrez's case became a focal point, not just for her family and friends, but for a community yearning for justice. In a land where the beauty of nature and the resilience of its people are often overshadowed by adversity, her story serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of dreams and the enduring quest for truth. In the heart of Argentina, amidst the clash of progress and preservation, the disappearance of one woman echoes the broader narrative of a nation in flux. As the search for Catalina continues, so too does the journey of a country striving to reconcile its past with its future, and its promise with its reality. The air was thick with an unspoken tension as Lazaro Oliveira and Nestor Soto stood among the group, their hearts heavy with an unsettling uncertainty. The absence of Catalina Gutierrez, a vibrant young woman known for her infectious enthusiasm and warm spirit, cast a shadow that loomed over them all. It was around 9 o'clock the previous night when Catalina was last seen, her mood buoyant as she set off to enjoy a night of bowling with friends at Patio Almost, a bustling shopping center nestled in the city's core. Before she departed, Catalina had reached out to her boyfriend, Lazaro, with a voice message brimming with joy. She was on her way, she promised, eager to see him soon. Yet, despite her assurances, Catalina never arrived at the shopping center, and her cheerful promise lingered in the air, unfulfilled. That message, filled with the lightness of anticipation, would become the final communication from her, a haunting echo of what once was. As the evening hours dissolved into the depths of night, the growing silence from Catalina's end became more pronounced. Her phone, usually a conduit for constant communication, remained eerily silent. Calls and messages went unanswered, an anomaly for someone who always kept her phone close, responding promptly. Concerned friends, their worry mounting with each passing minute, reached out to her family, only to find that they too were shrouded in the same disquieting silence since Catalina had left home. Throughout the night, hope and fear intertwined in a tense vigil. The morning light brought no relief, only a continuation of the agonizing uncertainty. With no sign of Catalina and their fears unabated, her loved ones took the inevitable step of contacting the authorities, reporting her disappearance. Around noon, Lazaro and Nestor joined Catalina's family, their presence a testament to the deep affection and concern that bound them all together. The situation, already fraught with anxiety, was compounded by other unsettling events unfolding in the city. Reports emerged of a shadowy figure haunting the nearby streets, and an unfamiliar car, damaged and emitting the pungent odor of ash, was discovered parked by the roadside. Its windows, tinted and obscured, offered no glimpse of what lay within, yet a sense of foreboding hung in the air. The vehicle's presence, coupled with the mysterious circumstances of Catalina's disappearance, painted a chilling tableau that would soon lead to a grim discovery. But who was Catalina Gutierrez, this young woman whose sudden vanishing left an indelible mark on those who knew her? Her story began in 2003, with her birth to Eleanor Wallenberg and Marcelo Gutierrez. The family, which also included her older sister Lucia, chose to make their home on the outskirts of Córdoba city. It was a place where warmth and love were constants, where creativity and ambition were nurtured under the guidance of her father, a respected architect, and her mother, who dedicated herself to her daughter's upbringing. Catalina and Lucia shared a bond that transcended the ordinary sibling relationship, intertwining their lives as both sisters and best friends. Their familial home was a sanctuary of laughter and learning, a foundation that allowed Catalina to blossom into a person of kindness and curiosity. Yet the joyous chapters of her life were abruptly interrupted by the enigmatic circumstances surrounding her disappearance, leaving those who loved her grappling with questions and a profound sense of loss. In the wake of this tragedy, the narrative of Catalina Gutierrez serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring strength of human connection. Her story, though marked by sorrow, underscores the enduring impact of love and the indomitable spirit of those who seek answers in the face of uncertainty. As the investigation unfolds, the quest for truth continues, driven by the hope of bringing closure to a family and community left in the shadow of an unresolved mystery. In the vibrant tapestry of familial bonds, few threads are woven as tightly as those between Catalina and her sister Lucia. Their father, the gentle architect of their upbringing, recognized the extraordinary bond his daughters shared. He often marveled at their nearly celestial connection, a relationship that seldom succumbed to the petty squabbles typical of siblinghood. Catalina, in particular, mirrored her father's dreams, becoming his confidant and supporter. Their shared passion for music was a cornerstone of their relationship. Under Marcelo's tutelage, Catalina learned to strum the guitar, a melody that resonated through her childhood and well into her adolescence. Her father's fervor for music and exploration ignited a similar spark within her, inspiring her to carve her own path. As Catalina transitioned from the innocence of youth to the aspirations of adulthood, her journey led her to the University of Córdoba. There, she pursued a degree in design, embracing the creative spirit that her father had so lovingly nurtured. Her academic pursuits were complemented by a vivacious personality that endeared her to peers beyond her immediate circle, drawing admiration from a broader audience. Her charisma was not confined to the physical world. In the digital age, Catalina's allure transcended screens, captivating thousands across social media platforms. Her Instagram and TikTok accounts offered glimpses into her life, a kaleidoscope of stylish ensembles, joyous escapades in Córdoba, cherished family moments, and the antics of her beloved dog. Her digital presence swelled to over-olarity opened doors to sponsorships from local brands, a venture that not only funded her education, but also introduced her to the world of entrepreneurship. Amidst the academic and digital landscapes, Catalina's heart found resonance with Lazaro Oliveira. Their shared faith and passion for design created a fertile ground for their relationship to flourish. Their connection was palpable, a testament to the depth of their affection. In an era where privacy often shrouds personal lives, Catalina and Lázaro chose transparency, sharing their journey openly with the world. Their social media feeds were a testament to their bond, filled with images and stories that spoke volumes of their happiness. Yet life's narrative can take unforeseen turns. On the night Catalina vanished, her last words to Lázaro were imbued with the simplicity of love's promise. "I'm on my way, my love. See you soon." Those words, a brief yet profound declaration, would linger in Lázaro's mind, haunting him with their abrupt finality. As the investigation unfolded, Lázaro found himself under the scrutinous gaze of the authorities, a natural consequence given his proximity to Catalina. However, the fortuitous presence of surveillance cameras at a bustling shopping center where Lázaro was with friends provided him with an irrefutable alibi, swiftly exonerating him from suspicion. Yet, despite the clarity of the evidence, the authorities' initial hesitance to delve deeply into Catalina's disappearance reflected a broader societal challenge. Often, the urgency of such cases is overshadowed by bureaucratic inertia or assumptions about the circumstances. Nonetheless, the truth remains elusive, wrapped in the silent whispers of the night Catalina disappeared, leaving behind questions that echo through time. In the end, the story of Catalina becomes a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between the light of human connections and the shadows that life can cast upon them. It is a narrative that speaks to the enduring strength of family, the boundless power of love, and the inscrutable nature of fate, urging us to hold dear the moments we share and the bonds we forge. Catalina Gutierrez, vibrant and beloved, vanished into the shadows of a city teeming with untold stories. The clock ticked mercilessly as 24 hours passed since her disappearance, and yet her case languished in the backlog of a city burdened by crime. Her family, steadfast in their conviction that Catalina would never abandon them without a word, took upon themselves the task of unraveling the mystery that had engulfed their lives. The night of July 16th was where it all began. Catalina had left home, driving her mother's silver Renault Clio, intending to meet her close confidant, Nestor Soto, before making her way to the bustling Patio Almost shopping center. This was the last trace of her, a breadcrumb trail leading into the unknown. The family's first move was to contact Nestor, who revealed a startling truth. Catalina never arrived to pick him up, nor did he observe anything amiss from his quiet street. With a growing sense of unease, Nestor reached out to Lázaro at dawn, igniting a shared concern that propelled them into action. Together with Catalina's family, they scoured the city with desperate hope, but their search yielded only silence. By midday, the gravity of the situation drove them to the police station, where they detailed their fears. Catalina's sister, Lucia, mentioned a crucial detail. The sisters always shared their locations via their phones, a safeguard in a world fraught with danger. This digital tether led them to a chilling clue. Catalina's iPhone last pinged from a neighborhood in southern Córdoba at 3900 Pedro East Char Street. The location was already under scrutiny due to reports from local residents of suspicious activity and the presence of an unfamiliar vehicle overnight. The police, connecting these ominous dots, proceeded to investigate the scene. What they uncovered shattered the Gutierrez family's world, a nightmare made real. Parked by the roadside was the silver Renault Clio, its interior revealing a grim tableau. The partially burned remains of a young woman lay in the back seat, a tragic testament to a life extinguished too soon. The remains were identified as Catalina, and the scene was locked down for a meticulous investigation. The autopsy unveiled a deeper horror. The fire, set hastily and ineffectively, was not the cause of death. Instead, it was a cruel attempt to obliterate evidence. Catalina had succumbed to asphyxiation, and the bruises and lacerations on her body spoke of a brutal beating. Her death transformed from a missing person case into a full-fledged homicide investigation. Two haunting questions emerged from the depths of this tragedy. Who was responsible for Catalina's death, and what darkness drove them to such an act? The inquiry demanded answers, not only to bring justice but to understand the undercurrents of a society where such violence could erupt unbidden. The search for truth became a relentless pursuit, driven by a determination to pierce the veil of secrecy surrounding Catalina's final hours. In the quiet moments when the city hushed its bustling rhythm, the echoes of her life lingered, a reminder of the fragility of existence and the enduring quest for justice in a world where every life, no matter how briefly illuminated, leaves an indelible mark. The investigation into the mysterious disappearance of Catalina took a decisive turn when law enforcement officials identified key suspects. Among them was her boyfriend, Lazaro, whose name was quickly cleared through the meticulous examination of surveillance footage and corroborating eyewitness testimonies. With Lazaro exonerated, the investigative lens turned towards an individual named Nestor, the next person Catalina was slated to meet. As detectives delved deeper into the case, Nestor emerged as a person of interest, primarily due to the lack of a verifiable alibi. The plan had been for Catalina to collect Nestor, and together they would venture to the mall. However, Nestor claimed she never arrived at his residence. Yet the digital footprints left by Catalina contradicted his statement, revealing that her phone had been in the vicinity of Nestor's property for 38 minutes. This inconsistency cast a shadow of doubt over Nestor's narrative. A more thorough examination of Nestor's phone revealed the deletion of several text messages, a behavior that raised suspicion. In the world of criminal investigation, such acts are seldom associated with innocence. The inquiry into Nestor's role became paramount. Nestor Soto, a close friend of Catalina, hailed from the picturesque Bariloche region of Argentina, nestled near the Chilean border. He had relocated to a bustling city to pursue a career in design, a path that eventually led him to Catalina. Introduced through mutual acquaintances, their friendship blossomed, though it remained strictly platonic from Catalina's perspective. She was committed to Lazaro, and for her, Nestor was a cherished friend. Nestor's presence in Catalina's life was frequent and familiar. He was a regular visitor at her home, engaging in friendly interactions with her boyfriend and playing with her dog. This camaraderie painted him as a trustworthy confidant. However, Nestor's true feelings lay hidden beneath this amicable facade. He was profoundly infatuated with Catalina, a sentiment that blurred the lines of friendship and edged into obsession. Despite outwardly respecting Catalina's relationship with Lazaro, Nestor's clandestine affection was palpable. He ensured his presence was felt in her life, both physically and intensity of his feelings threatened to breach the surface, revealing an unsettling undercurrent. As investigators probed Nestor's past, troubling anecdotes surfaced. A former classmate of Catalina recounted an alarming episode during a camp outing, where Nestor allegedly attempted to imposically repel his advances and raise her voice to deter him. Additionally, an ex-girlfriend of Nestor's painted a portrait of a man who was controlling and possessive, characteristics that further tarnished his image. In the quiet corners of his mind, Nestor's affection for Catalina had festered into a dangerous fixation, one that threatened to unravel the fabric of their friendship. The narrative of Nestor Soto is a cautionary tale of unrequited love turned perilous, a reminder of the intricate dance between emotion and reason and the consequences that ensue when boundaries are blurred. In the quiet corridors of everyday life, where friendships blossom and trust is cultivated, a shadow lurked, a shadow cast by a man named Nestor. To those around him, he was simply a friend, a confidant, a constant presence in the life of Catalina. Yet beneath this facade lay a more sinister potential, one that would unravel in a tragic tapestry of unrequited love and violence. For Nestor, the world seemed to tilt on its axis when things did not align with his desires. His aggression, once a mere undercurrent in routine interactions, hinted at a more volatile nature. This latent violence, a storm brewing beneath the surface, raised alarms about what he might do when faced with rejection from the one he adored. Catalina, however, was unaware of the tempest within him. She embraced their friendship, allowing Nestor into the intimate folds of her life without fear or suspicion. Her trust would become the very foundation upon which a tragic story would be built. The narrative of that fateful night began to take shape as authorities pieced together fragments of evidence. Witness testimonies, combined with digital footprints, painted a clearer picture, enabling law enforcement to secure a search warrant and bring Nestor into custody. As they delved into his world, a tangled web of deceit and desperation began to unravel. During interrogation, Nestor's composure crumbled. The truth, a slippery slope, eluded him as he faltered under the weight of inquiry. His narrative shifted, wavered, and finally shattered, revealing a man unable to withstand the pressure of his own lies. Amidst tears, he uttered a confession that would forever alter the lives of those who once called him friend. Catalina was the love of his life. With this admission, any lingering empathy from Catalina's family dissolved into the cold reality of betrayal. Detectives, now armed with a confession, set about reconstructing the timeline of the tragic evening. The evidence against Nestor grew insurmountable. It was discovered that Catalina had left her home at 9 in the evening, reaching out to Nestor to announce her visit. His responses, later erased in a futile attempt to erase his culpability, were among the first signs of his intent to conceal. As she arrived, the stage was set for a confrontation that would end in tragedy. In the confines of the car parked outside Nestor's house, a confession of unrequited love spiraled into chaos. Catalina's rejection ignited a fury in Nestor, leading to a violent altercation. The vehicle, once a vessel of familial warmth, became the scene of a brutal attack. Evidence suggested that Nestor, overcome by rage, strangled Catalina and inflicted severe injuries, leaving her defenseless. In the aftermath, with a chilling detachment, Nestor moved Catalina's lifeless body to the back seat, commandeering the vehicle into the night. As the clock ticked past 10, a traffic camera immortalized the passage of the car along Valero Avenue, a silent witness to the tragic conclusion of a friendship that had veered into fatal territory. This narrative, woven from the threads of trust and betrayal, reminds us of the fragile boundaries between love and obsession, friendship and possession. In the shadows of human interaction, the lines blur, leaving us to ponder the depths of the human heart and the unforeseen paths it may tread. In the early hours of a seemingly ordinary day, a sinister plan unfolded at 3900 Pedro, AC Chase Street. The quiet of the night was shattered as a car was set ablaze in a desperate attempt to obliterate the remnants of a heinous act. Within the confines of this vehicle lay the lifeless body of Catalina, a victim of an unspeakable crime. Nestor, her killer, believed he had meticulously orchestrated the perfect cover-up. Yet in his haste, he overlooked a pivotal detail. Catalina's phone remained inside the car. This device, unassuming yet potent, would soon unravel the web of deceit Nestor had woven. Ironically, the crime scene was so ineptly staged that, without the phone, Catalina's tragic fate might have remained shrouded in mystery for an indefinite period. In a chilling display of duplicity, Nestor reached out to Catalina's mother mere moments after the failed arson attempt. Desperately, he feigned ignorance, asserting no fewer than 8 times that he had not seen Catalina. Each claim was accompanied by a theatrical glance out the window, a performance designed to solidify Pizarro in the search for her, his demeanor that of a concerned friend rather than the architect of her demise. The facade continued as Nestor, accompanied by his family, made his way to the police station. Even as Catalina's body was discovered, he maintained his charade, offering solace to her grieving loved ones. He embraced her mother, Eleonora, and wept alongside them, all the while harboring the dark secret of his culpability. This calculated display was a deliberate effort to deflect suspicion, preserving the illusion of a devoted friend amidst the growing storm of inquiry. In retrospect, Nestor's actions were laced with suspicion, yet his lies were woven with such skill that they initially succeeded in delaying justice. However, as the investigation delved deeper, the full extent of his betrayal emerged. Among the damning evidence was Catalina's ring, unearthed in Nestor's bedroom, a macabre trophy of his crime. This discovery, coupled with his initial confession, precipitated his arrest and the formal charge of aggravated murder. Though his confession was integral to the case, Nestor's threat of his original admission looms large, casting a shadow over the impending trial. As of the recording, Nestor languishes in pre-trial detention on the outskirts of Córdoba, a marked man among inmates, his youth and slight stature rendering him vulnerable to threats and violence. To ensure his safety, he is often isolated from the general prison populace. In the wake of additional investigation, a charge of gender-based violence was appended to the original indictment of premeditated murder. The specter of a life sentence looms, a bleak future for one so young yet seemingly fitting for the enormity of his crimes. Meanwhile, ongoing digital forensic analysis seeks to unravel the intricacies of Nestor's relationship with Catalina, potentially swaying the jury's ultimate decision. The narrative of Nestor and Catalina is a haunting reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human heart. It underscores the fragile veneer of trust and the devastating consequences when that trust is shattered. As the legal proceedings inch forward, the world watches, waiting for justice to be served and reflecting on the profound complexities of human nature and the choices that define us. In the heart of Argentina, a nation grapples with the tragic unraveling of a story that has left its citizens in a state of disbelief and sorrow. At the center of this heartbreaking narrative are two young individuals, Catalina and Nestor, whose lives were intertwined in a manner that would lead to devastating consequences. The intricate dynamics between them, now under scrutiny, may hold the key to understanding the motives behind an act that has left a permanent scar on those who knew them. The prosecutor's office, steadfast in its pursuit of justice, has indicated that absent any unforeseen revelations, the path to resolution is clear and the case is nearing closure. Yet the absence of delay in the trial does little to quell the rising concerns regarding Nestor's mental state, a subject of increasing importance and complexity. Despite the gravity of the situation, Nestor has resisted all attempts to undergo evaluations, which could potentially illuminate aspects of his defense. His silence is echoed by his mother's defense, claiming that a storm of stress engulfed him before the crime unfolded. Sympathy for Nestor remains elusive for many, as the weight of his actions casts a long shadow. Although he has refrained from public discourse, his legal representative has communicated his profound regret and issued an apology to Catalina's bereaved family. Yet, an official statement regarding the tragedy remains absent, leaving a void in the narrative that the public yearns to fill. The nation, still reeling, finds itself caught in the throes of shock and mourning. Both Catalina and Nestor were bright stars on the horizon, full of promise and potential that now will never be realized. Their futures, extinguished in an instant, serve as a stark reminder of the perils that arise when emotions and hidden obsessions are left unchecked. The unresolved nature of the case prolongs the agony for Catalina's family, who remain ensnared in grief, exacerbated by the fact that her body remains in police custody, a poignant symbol of evidence for the impending trial. The family's pain is palpable. Their desire to lay Catalina to rest, thwarted by the legal proceedings, is a testament to their enduring hope for closure. Her father, a man shattered by loss, voices his anguish to the world, demanding justice and retribution, a life sentence for Nestor, whom he deems unworthy of freedom. As the legal machinery grinds forward, Catalina's absence is a haunting presence in the lives of those she touched. Her family, friends, and classmates are left to navigate an existence now marked by her absence. In a poignant gesture, her classmates honored her memory with a silent tribute, placing a sign on an empty chair that declares, "Catalina should be here." It is a powerful reminder of the void she leaves behind. The digital world, too, has become a canvas for tributes, as supporters express their sorrow and hope for justice for Catalina, referred to as a poor angel by those moved by her story. Her legacy of kindness and positivity continues to inspire, a beacon of light in a time of darkness. For Catalina's family, the pain is an unending journey, a profound emptiness that words cannot adequately capture. They remember her as a vibrant spirit, full of joy and compassion, a dedicated student whose future was as bright as her smile. In their eyes, she was the embodiment of happiness, kindness, and music, a melody that now lingers in silence. In the end, this harrowing tale prompts reflection on the fragility of life and the unforeseen paths it can take. It urges a deeper understanding of the human heart's complexities and the importance of addressing the shadows that dwell within. As Argentina stands at this crossroads of grief and justice, the story of Catalina and Nestor remains a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between light and darkness in the human experience. In the wake of her untimely demise, a profound silence envelops those who seek solace in the promise of justice. Her life, prematurely extinguished, has cast a shadow that stretches far and wide, touching the hearts of many across this vast nation. The echoes of her story resonate deeply, stirring a collective consciousness that refuses to forget. As her loved ones traverse the agonizing path of grief, the weight of loss is palpable, yet it is met with an unwavering hope, an earnest belief that truth and justice will ultimately prevail. In this shared journey, we are reminded of the fragile nature of life and the enduring power of memory.